Hey everybody, welcome to the Sega Genesis playlist. I'm about to do some awesome Sega Genesis gameplay videos. Trying to get around to every system I can. I've got so many games, so many systems to go for. I'm excited so much for doing the Sega Genesis library. It's one of the coolest libraries you got. So many awesome games for it. But I do want to try to get the best possible quality out of my gameplay videos. A lot of the systems I'm doing, like the computers, like the TI-99 and the Commodore VIC-20, I'm using composite outputs, so I don't have those systems modded. But in the case of the Sega Genesis, they have built-in component / I guess RGB input, so you can actually get a great quality signal out of this picture. But what I did, I bought some HD Retrovision cables. The fine folks at that company, they researched this and they figured out how to get the best possible quality video from the cables. I mean, short of having SCART, which is a really good quality. But it's mainly used in Europe. But getting ahead of myself here, I've got some HD Retrovision cables. Basically what they are is you can hook up your old systems like Sega Genesis up to component. But as long as your television supports 240p, which there's a test that you could run to see if your TV does support that. But the newer LCD TVs, have component input and everything, which component is your green, blue, and red. If you can see that right there, green, blue, and red. And of course the yellow and red, or excuse me, the white and red are your audio. But basically they just plugs right into your Sega Genesis. There's an adapter for the Model 1 Sega Genesis, which is the bigger one with the earphone jack. But I am excited because I am curious to see how the quality of this compared to composite, which is the yellow hookup. And I'm going to do a little test run with a few games here. I've got right here, I've got Sonic the Hedgehog, got Sonic 3, which I'm going to go through the line, Sonic 2. Going to do all three of those. Just a brief run. I'm going to let the demo play and kind of let you see what's going on. I figured I'd throw in Earthworm Jim and good old classic Miss Pac-Man. So yeah, we are going to go through these games and check them out. I'll give you the composite playthrough of it and then immediately switch over to the component, well, the HD Retrovision component output, and just show you for yourself the quality of this. So that's going to really up the game with my gameplay videos. I mean, no modding required. You don't have to get it RGB modded. You just plug it in and you're off to the races right there. So check it out. We are momentarily going to switch over to the gameplay side of things, and I'm excited. I'm excited to try these cables out and see how good the quality is for the Sega Genesis. And there's some for Super Nintendo as well. And there are adapters. You can adapt it. You can play this on the Sega Saturn, so I will go around and try out Sega Saturn as well. Using these very same cables, you just get an adapter and plug it into the Saturn. But enough talking. Let's go into the action and see how well these cables hold up. Alright everybody, welcome to this special edition of the comparisons. So what I'm doing is comparing these games. I've got it directly hooked up to my FrameMeister and to the TV, so I'm not going to play the games. I'm just going to let it run in demo mode and kind of let you see what it is. Right now this is composite mode, which is the yellow cable you usually hook up to the TV, especially an old CRT TV. So this is Sonic the Hedgehog running in composite on the real hardware, real Sega Genesis. Everything is no emulation or nothing. This is real hardware. Just to kind of give you a frame of reference of what it's supposed to look like.
The way I'm going to do it, though, whenever I do gameplays, I'm going to split the signal, the HD Retrovision signal, to the FrameMeister and to I've got a Sony Trinitron TV that does accept component cables, which is the red, green, and blue cables. Composite is the yellow. So you're checking out right now Sonic the Hedgehog. Looks pretty good. I mean, you know, especially on a CRT, composite looks pretty decent. But when you get to the high-def TVs, HD TVs, composite doesn't look as good as it should. Now you got to remember this is a 240p signal, so you got to make sure if you get these cables, you got to make sure your TV can display 240p properly. Otherwise, it really won't work that well. But as you see, I'm going to go through a couple of demo levels. Otherwise, I won't play it because it's just too much lag, and I won't be able to play it that well. So we're going to do that. I'm going to let it play through one more time. Spring Yard Zone, which is awesome. I mean, this game is just totally awesome completely. That's why I picked the 3 Sonic games to try out. So we're going ahead and finish that up so you kind of get an idea of what it looks like. This is composite. Of course, I got it labeled in the top left corner there, right above me. Alright, now check out what the HD Retrovision cables look like. Alright, transition effect. Alright, here we go with HD Retrovision cables hooked up to the Sega Genesis. And look at that. I mean, look how crisp. You can actually see that the graphics just pop out. It's just pixels. You can see the squareness of the pixels and everything. Wow, I mean, that is just amazing to see that. Wow. I'm just kind of amazed to see how detailed they go into all the research they did into getting the best signal possible out of the Sega Genesis. I mean, I'm just looking at that, I'm just thinking, wow. I mean, it's, you know, composite just kind of, it's okay, but if you had the option, yeah, just get something a little bit sharper. Wow. Let's play another level real quick. Very nice. And like I said, I'll tweak some settings. You know, I do have color correction I can do and to tweak a little bit of the settings, but as far as just the sharpness and just seeing the pixels just kind of pop out at you, wow. That is pretty cool. I can't wait to try so many more of my Sega Genesis games, but we'll just do these 5, and man, I'm just looking at the shield and Sonic had on, that little protective barrier, and just see the pixels, just individual pixels in that. Wow. Okay, up next, before I get too mesmerized, is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let's go ahead and try that. Actually, let's do a little bit of Spring Yard Zone, because I think I got that far the first time around. Wow. Very cool. Again, I'll adjust the lighting, the brightness and stuff through my software. But wow. I might not be talking much, but I'm very mesmerized by this. Alright, Sonic 2 up next. Let's check that out. Hey everybody, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in composite mode, the yellow cable. And as you can see, it's okay. I mean, you can see there's definitely little wavy lines and stuff in it. It's not the best signal quality, but I'm going to go ahead and at least try to play this. Again, there's like a 2-second lag, so not going to be very good. I'm going to kind of play through it. You can see the wavy lines. It's not the best, definitely quality. It might be due to the Sega Genesis that I'm using, and also the cable I'm using, which I'm using the official stereo Genesis cables. Again, I'm not good at it right now just because it's lagging. I'm gonna at least try to beat one level of this with the lag. So yeah, there's about a 2-second delay from when I am pressing the button and playing this. Registers the motion. So, all right, here we go. It is tough when you've got lag. That's why, I guess that's why I like CRT TVs a lot, just because, playing old school stuff anyway. I mean, you got your Smash Brothers players that play on CRTs and stuff like that. I guess every little millisecond counts. And, you know, is what it is. Okay, so that was the first level of Sonic 2. I'm going to repeat this with the HD Retrovision cables. Again, you kind of see the quality of it. I could clear that up if I had another Genesis system, but right now I've just got what I got. And you can see the wavy lines. Hopefully, you know, composite, that this hookup isn't quite as bad as what you see here. But we'll check out the HD Retrovision cables coming up right now. Alright, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 right now. And I'm looking at that, and I'm just looking how sharp it is. It's definitely more pixel razor sharpness, I guess you could say. But wow, I tell the difference immediately. And I can only imagine what this is going to look like on my TV, my Trinitron that does accept component. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and play a level real quick. And just, like I said, this is going to lag just because of the nature of the beast. This is hooked up to my capture card through the FrameMeister, 2 or 3 different things. So I'll do my best to play this and not get beat. I mean, I did last time on the, oh wow, just look at the trees right there. Look at the individual pixels, just like, you can just see that. That is just so razor sharp. I mean, that is incredible. Wow. And just, oh man, this is definitely a great investment. And like I said, I've got the Super Nintendo ones, so I'm excited to see what that's going to be a difference, and I'll do a video of that as well. And also an adapter. This cable also will hook up to the Sega Saturn with an adapter. So I'm really anxious to see what Sega Saturn games are going to look like through the HD Retrovision goodness right there. But yep, so far just amazing. But this is definitely for an enthusiast who wants like the best possible quality of hookup, you know, because these modern systems, or these modern TVs, you know, it's kind of tough to hook them up with old systems, because you know, you're just going to get crappy video. But the HD Retrovision team, they really did a great job doing this. And I tell you, just looking at that screen is just wow. Like I said, on my end, I just got to adjust some settings, like brightness or whatever, what have you. And it's also got a little switch on there. You can turn the brightness up and down if you need to, which I'm looking at. I could probably turn the brightness down if need be. I think I need a little bitty like pencil or something to kind of, let me see if I can turn that down just a little bit. Well, okay, let's see. Yeah, there's like a little brightness switch. I might not be able to get to it. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and check out Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Wow, I'm excited about that. We'll first do the composite and then component. So on to Sonic 3. Alright, here we go with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with the composite output. So as you see, I'm going to let it play. I'm going to let the demo play. As I try to wiggle these cables, try to see if I get a better reception. Doesn't look like it. I mean, just, like I said, that's the nature of the beast with composite. It does look a lot better on a CRT, than this video capture, which I've got it through a FrameMeister right now, just a FrameMeister, not split off into my CRT. But as you can see, it's okay. It's not bad. I mean, I've watched people play games with composite. I mean, you know, it's how entertaining you can be, I guess. But you can see, I mean, you can tell it's good graphics and stuff. I mean, you see the wavy lines and stuff. Let that play probably one more time through. But Sonic 3 is definitely an awesome game. Probably one of my favorites of all the Sonics. The music is great. Of course, when you had Sonic and Knuckles, you had a big, beefy game right there. So, oh yeah, this is a good level for the water effects and stuff like that. Sometimes emulation doesn't get the water effects right on Sega Genesis games. But yeah, this is the Genesis 2, which is right here in front of me. Pretty cool. Not too bad. So, yep, that is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in composite output. Alright, now through the magic of video editing, let's go check the HD Retrovision cables. Alright, here we go with Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and I'm telling you, I can tell the difference already. It's just, wow! I mean, just the individual pixels, it's almost emulator quality. I mean, it is pretty much. I mean, this is better than an emulator. I mean, this is the real hardware, which if you're a hardware purist, you really want the real hardware, but wow. That is so awesome. I'm going to sit here and just kind of breathe in the atmosphere. Wow. That is really cool. I want to see also the next level, the Hydro Zone, to see the water effect on it with these cables. So that's the next scene coming up. I'm letting it play the demo mode mostly, but just because there's going to be lag and it's going to be hard for me to play it. Otherwise, you know, I'd be playing this like crazy right now. But only reason I did Sonic 2 is there's like a 480i mode with a little split screen, and it kind of messes up it goes crazy with the signal. But let's take a look. Look at that, would you? Wow. Wow. Talk about just man, there's going to be so many Sega Genesis games I'm going to be playing now. Very, very beautiful. Outstanding. Hats off to the HD Retrovision team to get this out there and to play and just to get beautiful, beautiful output from your retro systems. Next up is Earthworm Jim. Let's see what that is about. So we're going to do that next. Of course, I don't want to break away from Sonic 3. Wow. Alright, let's see. What's in that? Marble Garden Zone. What is that going to look like? Oh, look at that, would you? Look at the mountains in the background there. You can just see the... Wow. Very cool. Wow. Okay, so Earthworm Jim's up next. Let's check that out. Alright, everybody. We're back. You see Earthworm Jim flexing there. Like nobody, like no worm could. As you can see, you know, it's decent. You know, it's okay. Like I said, that wavy line kind of bothers me. Usually I wouldn't think it would be that bad. But you can see, it's just, yeah, it's composite output. You can see the game playing in demo mode, so graphics aren't too bad. You can make out everything. Very cool. Awesome. I love this game because of the animation in it. It's just really, really cool. Very different, too. And just an aside note, these cables, when you hook up a Sega CD and a 32X, it'll work just as well. It'll sharpen the picture of those systems as well. So it's not only Sega Genesis, but it's also the add-ons too. So I was thinking of that because Earthworm Jim for the Sega CD, it's a fun little game. It's got little extra levels to it and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Earthworm Jim. I mean, what the heck? Why not? Anyway, also the color probably on my capture device might not be up to par. As you can see, this is, yeah, probably not quite up to the way it should be. So a little bit too much red in it right now. So we will check that out, and definitely here is the HD Retrovision version of this very same game. And here we go with Earthworm Jim. Wow, HD Retrovision cables via the component. Wow. Very sharp. Very, very sharp. I'm very impressed with this. This is through my FrameMeister. I just need to tweak some settings on that. And, wow. Very cool. I definitely recommend these cables. I mean, you can see, I mean, just the way the pixel razor sharp. And this is coming out of stock Sega Genesis. This isn't modifying anything. It isn't soldering any graphics chips or any kind of thing, opening it up, doing anything to it. You're just plugging in the HD Retrovision cables and you get high quality Sega Genesis action right there. And like I said, you need to make sure your TV is 240p compatible. Like I said, I'm going to personally plug this up to my CRT Sony Trinitron TV, which does have component input, and I can't wait to see what that looks like on a CRT component wise. But yeah, what the heck indeed. As you can see, it is just beautiful. That's the only way to play. Look at that. That's just, oh, gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, the side, you can see the borders on the side. That's normal. I mean, on a regular old school TV, there's something called overscan, which hides those borders, and that's why you don't see them. But, you know, it does bring out the imperfections on the sides of it. But look at that. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. Man, I'm telling you. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of Miss Pac-Man, so stay tuned. Alright, the last game on this list is Miss Pac-Man for the Sega Genesis. This is composite output, as you can see. Let the demo play a little bit. You can see there's Blinky, Pinky, the Inky there, Inkster, and Sue. So, and starring Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. So we will let that play, a little bit of a demo mode of it. So you can see right there, you know, this is composite output. So, and again, I don't have all the settings perfect for my FrameMeister. So you see the scrolling kind of little wavy. It's because of the FrameMeister. It's not because of the Sega itself. So there you go. I mean, for the most part, you know, is what it is. It's composite. It's enjoyable. I mean, like I said, I would watch composite. I mean, some of my older computer games that I do gameplays of are on composite. So, like the TI-99 and the VIC-20 and NES. So, you know, barring getting those modded, you know, I might just use that. But the HD Retrovision cables, I figure that's a good investment just because best possible quality output I can have for my Sega and my Super Nintendo and my Sega Saturn, etc. But through the magic of transitions, let's take a look at Miss Pac-Man through the HD Retrovision cables. And this is component with HD Retrovision cables. Look at that. This is all real hardware. No emulation whatsoever. This is Miss Pac-Man. And look at that. Look how much sharper it is. It's just so clear, crisp. It's almost emulator quality type. Wow. I'm just totally impressed right now with that. And just looking at that right now, I'm just like, wow. I'm excited to do gameplay videos of this. It's wow. I'm just like sitting here watching this. And like I said, I just need to tweak a few settings on the FrameMeister itself. Other than that, I mean, this is, gosh, wow, this is pretty sharp, razor sharp right there. Looking very good. And I tell you, I'm ready to do a lot of Sega Genesis gaming right now. So, yep, that is number 5 of these games that I've looked at, Miss Pac-Man. Of course, you just saw Earthworm Jim and the Sonic games, and they looked incredible as well. Wow. Very impressed with this. Again, this is running through my FrameMeister. Just watching the demo play. I'm just like, wow. But, yeah. Wow. I'll be right back with my final thoughts on this, and stick around.
All right, so my final thoughts on this. I would recommend them. If you're a hardcore game player and you want something that puts out the best possible quality, apart from SCART, which is another great connection, I would get these cables. These are awesome. They're hard sometimes to come by. Luckily, I think they're in stock as I'm recording this, but it took me a few months before I could get that. But the quality was awesome, as you saw in the videos. Just totally awesome. And this was just the Sega Genesis one. It does have an adapter, which I do have for the Sega Saturn. I can't wait to try that out as well. I've got some Super Nintendo cables. I want to try those out also. But yeah, I would say go for it. If you have a 240p compatible TV that will play it, I think it'll play other TVs. You really have to test it out, though. I mean, but this is for a hardcore game player like us, collectors, whatever, like me and people watching. It's really awesome cables, and I recommend them. I do recommend them because, wow, just the quality alone, you approach or even exceed emulator quality just because, I mean, I'm talking about picture-wise, because you're actually using the real hardware and the way it's meant to be displayed. But yeah, go out there and find you a Trinitron TV too that's has component inputs instead of an HD TV. But anyway, that's enough rambling. I love these cables. I highly recommend them. They're totally awesome. So take care, everybody, and I will see you again next time. This is the Sega Genesis playlist, so I'm ready to do plenty of Sega Genesis games. So take care, everybody.